30 Nigerians under age 35 from diverse backgrounds have been selected as pioneer set of fellows that will undergo a one-year practical training at the Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy following the formal launch of the leadership program in Lagos by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
The Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, Kadri Hamzat, members of the State Executive Council, as well as friends and family of the late former Governor of Lagos, Alhaji Lateef Jakande, converge on Continental Hotel, Victoria Island, for the formal launch of the Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy, which is an initiative of the current administration. Over 3,000 youths indicated their interest for the Leadership Academy program, but 35 of them are lucky to be the pioneer set and will be exposed to one-on-one leadership coaching and mentoring by renowned leaders in public and private sectors.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the underlying principles of the Academy is to offer opportunities to young Nigerians under the age of 35 who aspire for future public leadership positions in order to serve their nation and impact their generation. The Academy is positioned to develop these young leaders for public service and for governance by equipping them with the requisite knowledge, skills, abilities for purposeful leadership through service delivery, mentorship, and, of course, hands-on involvement in policy making at the highest level of state governance. So it's been a very, very long process, and I'm sure the 30 finalists sitting here will attest to the fact that it was a grueling process. We started off with 3,313 applications, and they passed through a very rigorous, merit-driven selection process, which included a computer-based test, a full-day assessment center that was able to allow observers to observe their leadership competencies. They had presentations, they had case studies, and at the end of the day, we had 36 young people coming out of that process. They had interviews with our ministry staff, they had interviews with Academy staff, and lastly, they all had interviews with Mr. Governor himself. And we came out with 30 young leaders at the end of that process.
The State Head of Service assures the fellows of seamless onboarding in the state's public service.
This is one of Mr. Governor's pipeline dreams that have been incubated for so long, and we are happy today that it has birthed these 35 young gentlemen and ladies. Congratulations. The process for their selection, as earlier mentioned by the Honorable Commissioner, was very rigorous and exhaustive, and I can assure you that it meets every criteria of selecting the brightest from amongst 3,000 people who signified interest in this exercise. These 35 came from a pruned down number of 3,000 applicants, and that is interesting and excellent in its own way. In the next 12 months, I think we will be your hosts. I lead a service that will be making you welcome. The secretary to the board, met with the body of permanent secretaries who will be providing amenable facilities whilst you journey through the portals and the annals of the Lagos State Public Service.
The first son of the late Alhaji Lateef Jakande commends the governor for fulfilling his pledge to immortalize their father's legacy.
I was going to talk about when the governor promised to do the Leadership Academy on it. Commissioner has said everything I am supposed to say. You also promised the red and the red-blue line and the red and blue line. That has been done. You have performed. My job here is to appreciate you, the people of Lagos State, headed by you, for standing by us and And I pray that the Almighty will be by you too.
Professor Sanwo-Olu and other dignitaries who served under the late Jakande administration also applaud the governor for establishing the Leadership Academy and appeal for sustainability.
The sustainability of this project is very, very important to building a country. And I'm sure in no distant future, State of the Federation will be sending people to Lagos State because Lagos has a trigger effect in every field of human endeavor and public administration. The late governor of Kano State, Sanwo-Olu, he was asked the question towards the end. He served at the same time with Alhaji Jakande, and he said, Lateef is the best of all. Alhaji Jakande is the best of all. There was never a governor like Alhaji Lateef Jakande, and it will take time to have a governor like him. Like I see some making of the future governors like him. The current effort by the current administration is trying to build on the legacies that Alhaji Lateef Jakande left behind. Why am I saying this? The metro line, which Alhaji Lateef Jakande started in 1983. In one of my interviews with him, if he said there is anything that he is regretting, it is because he didn't start the metro line on his first day in office. If he had known that it would take time, that somebody will come to cancel it, he would have started it on the first day of his administration. We thank God that today, the governor and his team, they are breathing life into that rail project. And I wish you well.
Thank God that I am alive to witness an event like this. The next thing I should say is to thank our governor for taking 10-minute feet to honor a man who gave all his life the time he served this state from 1979 to 1983, December 31. He picked me at 41 and made me secretary to Lagos State Government. It was there I knew. And I now confirm today that he was indeed a leader. Because in everything he led, we will write minutes, type 80 pages for 6 months. Every page with red biro correction. In the process, I got the message and began to have, even if we had 100 pages, we might not have more than 1 or 2 pages with correction. It was a great input for me to become a manager. Well, we've seen the film, what he did, but the lesson to those of us coming to learn in the academy, which I believe he richly deserved to be named after him, is to make sure that what this country lacks today and which you must continue to work hard to get is leadership. To be able to show it, do it, not just joking.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the initiative is in fulfillment of his administration's visions to institutionalize the process of talent development and leadership preparation in the state's public sector.
This academy seeks to develop the next generation of leaders in the public and private sector by exposing selected young, talented Nigerians to work opportunities across the value chain of Lagos State government. We live in a time when leadership matters more than ever before, both in the private and in the public sector. A time when we need to ensure that we can actively and deliberately grow the pool of young Nigerians who are able to successfully meet the challenges of leadership in such a complex, complicated, and youthful nation as ours. As you can see, and you have listened to all the names, 30 of them, well balanced, 16 male and 14 female. You can see this is a clear testament of full female gender balance Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy. It is built and made in Lagos, but you can see it has a national outlook. It has a national presence because for us in Lagos State, Nigeria is one nation, and it's a nation that we're indeed truly, truly proud of. And so we must remember that this country, and it's full of young people, is among the youngest population in the entire world. And so it makes it imperative for us to continually create and expand the opportunities for these young people, because indeed they are part of the wilder world that will take over the space, or that are taking over the space as we speak. The peak of the skills and the experience that is required to serve competitively in whatever position they find themselves is part of the things that we're bringing here this evening. A lot of that leadership preparation is already happening, of course, but mainly in informal and unstructured form. And so the Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy is our own effort to formalize and to structure the process of talent development and leadership preparation for the public sector and some part of the private sector. Let me now especially welcome our inaugural cohort of this academy, the new fellows. You have been selected from Lagos State, but across the country, to spend the next 1 year together as a pioneering class of talented, smart, diligent, and promising young Nigerians. And you now have in your hands a great opportunity to shape not just your personal lives and career, but also to shape the future of our country and our state.
These lucky ones have been advised not to lose sight of their privilege, but remain committed in projecting the legacy of purposeful leadership bequeathed by the late Jakande.